Wow, how good's that view, guys?
Can they see?
Can they see? Hopefully you can see.
This is our office.
This is what we see every single Saturday morning. So you get to see a little bit of a glimpse of. You get to see a little bit of a glimpse of what we see on a daily. I was going to say, I wish it was daily.
Yeah, you know what? That's what we're going to talk about in the intro. Is talking about the things that you want and verbally saying them out loud. So
well,
yes, we do work here every day. This is our office.
This is our office,
and we get to talk to awesome people. Like you. Hello, Wellness Radio fans and followers.
I'm super excited about being on. It feels like I haven't been on here for years, but it's only been a week.
I know.
It's been too long now. We need more time on radio. That's what I say. So, we excited about today's show?
I'm excited for today. Absolutely.
Yeah, always keen to have a conversation with you, Sheena.
I know.
Let's see where it goes. We don't have anything really scripted.
No, like always.
That's what we want. You know, we want to be working on behalf of what people are intrigued and interested in the real world.
Yes, yes.
So otherwise, if it's too scripted, it just gets boring and just everyone knows about that. So let's just see what things happen. I'm super excited about our guest coming in today. She's a local hero around here. She actually lives in Bondi, and her name's Connie Chapman.
Okay.
She's a life coach, podcaster, writer, and she's got an abundance of followers on Instagram. She's got about 13.2 thousand Instagram followers, and she just wants to give that essence of abundance and just very much about the universe.
Wow.
Similar to our conversation with our lovely, what was her last name?
Oh, Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
Marie Louise.
Jeez Louise. Similar sort of style.
Oh, good.
And yeah, she's more of a writer and a life coach. So I'll be very interested about see what she has to say.
Connie Chapman. So she's in at 12:15?
12 to 12:15. I said.
Great. Awesome. Well, we've got Zach Mason.
Cool.
Coming in. Zach is a fitness enthusiast, wellness, nutrition, mindset, and I actually met him right when we started Wellness Radio. And remember when I said ever since we started Wellness Radio, things have just been effortless, and I've been bumping into all kinds of awesome people in this space. And Zach was one of the first people that I met. I went to a networking event, and he sat right next to me, and I looked at him and I said, "Hi, I'm Sheena," and I introduced myself as Sheena from
Sheena
Wellness.
Alexandra. We should be going on air.
We're not air.
We're not on air. I don't know why we're not on air.
We got carried away with the TV.
Get take over the TV side. Let's go on air and repeat what we just said, shall we?
Hi, Alex. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a nice Saturday morning. We're just gonna get the
mics on?
Yeah, get the mics on. Though. There's no jingles. Again, why?
We can do the... Oh, well, you got to log in. I don't know how to log in.
Oh, right, okay.
You can log in for me.
Oh.
Don't say the password on Facebook Radio.
It's almost 11:11. Great time to start.
Always a great time to start. I think we usually start around this time anyway. Is
yeah.
Is the... what's it called on?
Oh, the what? I wasn't able to go in.
I wasn't able to go in? Alright, no jingles then. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Weekend Wellness Show. This is Liam Zollo, your host, and I'm with my awesome co-host, Sheena Alexandra, live down on Bondi Radio. We're on Facebook Live as well. If you're checking us out on Facebook Live on the Bondi Radio app, you can see our awesome view that we have down here. What a absolute great view. Isn't that right, Sheena?
It's gorgeous today. I'm hot, and it's not even, well, it's
what
still
time
morning
is it?
time.
11:11.
It's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Super excited for today.
It is a wonderful day, and I'm super excited to be down here with you once again on a Saturday morning. We just said off air that it just feels like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it feels like I've been away from here forever. And it's only been a week.
I know, it's been a week, and it's been the best week of probably my career.
Wow. Tell me a story, Sheena.
Well, before we got on air, we were talking about, positive, I guess we were, in a nutshell, talking about positive affirmations. You were talking about this view being your office every single day. and how it's really important to verbalize the dreams that you want to have. So I have a really great story of me verbalizing something and it coming to fruition.
Good. I want to hear this.
So Keith and I, Haji and I, the owner of Bondi Radio, we were at Bondi Chambers of Commerce. We were at an event, probably 6 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And we were at the event promoting Thought Radio, which is the talk show segment in the morning.
Yeah.
And there was a guy on the stage, and he was an entrepreneur, and he was really passionate about startups and entrepreneurs and just that whole scene. And I said to Haji, I said, I would love to create a program where we're talking about entrepreneurship and we're getting different examples of startups to come onto the show to talk about their experience and just to give the viewers some insight into their own path and journey. And so at the end of the event, the guy was coming towards us, and Keith was so funny. He like accidentally dropped the flyer so I could bump into him and pitch to him my idea. And so he did. It was a perfect ploy, and I stumbled. Oh, I was so sorry.
This is all planned?
Well, that bit was planned, and then what I was right about to tell the guy wasn't planned. I didn't know what to say because I'm not a natural-born salesperson, but I just talked to him, and it pretty much went pear-shaped. And the guy, I didn't do it right, and Haji was just like, that went really well, didn't it? Anyways, so we're walking out of the event a few minutes later, and we bump into Brad Crawford, and I said, well, what do you do? And he said he's the founder of the Founders Club, and he gives business advice to startups. And I said, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I was just telling Keith about this idea. And so I got his contact information, and we've been kind of playing email tag and trying to get in touch, and we finally got in touch last Friday. And it's just been a beautiful so he's now coming on Thought Radio. He's coming on, he's starting this week, but he's in the heart of creating something really, really special. And Haji and I are now part of creating this startup hub. It's called Startup Underground, and basically he offers startups business advice, but because Haji's restaurant, The Neighborhood, is vacant during the day, he's now going to be using that empty space as a co-working place for entrepreneurs, so they can come in to the restaurant, they can have a couple of drinks, maybe a bite to eat, and then when it turns into a bar later in the day, they'll be able to stay around and have a drink.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that collaboration came with Haji and with Brad, and Brad's coming on the show, and we've got 8 weeks planned talking about entrepreneurship.
Awesome.
And I mean, like, it was like my dream fruition, and I'm so glad and grateful that I stumbled with that first guy, because he wasn't the right guy. So now we've got Brad Crawford, and I'm just, every conversation that Brad and I have has been such a collaborative effort. And what his vision is with the Startup Underground is, he's like, do you remember chapter 11 in Think and Grow Rich? Where,
which one was that one? Create a mastermind?
Yes. And that's what he's trying to do, is create individuals that are experts in their field, and then these founders have these expertises to tap into. And so it's going to be it's just so nice to be part of something that's in the works, and it's co-creation at its finest right now. And so it's been exciting. It's been an awesome week, and lots of developments and lots of wins and lots of connections with people. I have a tagline: promote, connect, win. And so I do that on a daily basis, and I was walking in the grocery store yesterday thinking, God, I love my job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love Saturdays with you. I love Wellness Radio. We keep getting compliments. You keep getting compliments.
You keep getting compliments from my side as well, which is awesome.
I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I feel very happy. So that's what it was yesterday when I was, wrapping up the week. And then this morning, I go to pay my, totally off subject, but I go and pay my rego, right, because it's due today. And, you've got your CPT that you have to pay.
CPT green slip?
Right.
Don't tell me that you lost your license.
No, but I can't process the renewal because my green slip hasn't gone through. So now I can't drive tomorrow, or else I'm driving illegally on the road, and you know why I can't do that, right?
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
the big
yeah.
secret behind that. So
Yeah.
my plans for tomorrow have been canceled. I was going to hang out with Emily, and we were going to go to a birthday party. And
Wait. So wait, hold on a second. What do you need to get in the green slip then? You need a
I know.
blue slip
I don't
or a
know.
pink slip?
I don't know if I'm frustrated at myself for not researching this, or I'm frustrated at the Australian systems for not getting their act together. Like, you can't renew your registration without proof that you've purchased your insurance that's mandatory, right?
Yeah.
The green slip, right?
Oh, so you need to purchase your green slip.
So I purchased that yesterday.
Yeah.
But the systems are connected. So when you go and pay your renewal online,
Yeah.
it's connected to the green slip. So there's not a communication between the two systems.
Yeah.
So that when I went to go pay today, because it's due today, they won't let me pay for it.
No, I should do it in a couple of hours.
That's right. That's what I
It
thought.
does do it in a couple of hours.
Well, that's why I'm talking about this. So have I done something wrong then?
No, you just need to pay for your green slip. If you pay for your green slip, then that registers straight to the RTA or the RMS now. And then when you've done the RMS within a couple of hours, maximum 5 hours, then you should be able to go in there and renew. You just have to ring up the RMS.
Yeah, but they're not open today.
You just have to go on. Can you do it online?
No, they won't let me because it's not connected. They said you can't proceed because we don't have your green slip information. We haven't gotten approval that you've purchased this. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I know. I purchased it yesterday, and I don't.
Silly to me. I've done that before, especially on a Saturday.
I know. I was just like, I was in such a good mood yesterday, and then this morning I'm fumbling around with this stupid insurance, trying to find the answers.
Imagine how much money they would lose if people didn't do it on a Saturday. They'll have to wait till a Monday. No, I'm sure you could do something.
That's what I'm talking about. And I knew, Liam, you were going to show me the way.
There's some way. Where there's a will, there's
Thanks,
a way,
darling.
Sheena.
Thank you, babe. I really appreciate
There's
it.
a way, always. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's an exciting week, then.
Yeah, what about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Yesterday, I just want to give a quick shout out to, I have to do the shout
Yes,
out
of
to
course.
Emily's young sister, Erica Peterson, and her friend Ruby are in a grand final competition for the Touch Grand Final. I was at Thanksgiving dinner last
my
night
gosh.
at the Petersons, which, as you know, what
They
they'll
pushed
do.
the boat out. Like, that
Yeah,
would have been a beautiful meal. Did you start at 2, or was it a dinner?
No, because it was a dinner.
Yeah.
Just to give you a clarification on Emily's family, they're
Oh.
very very hospitable family, beautiful family, the Petersons, and Carl put on a great spread there, and Shiho, his wife, put on a great spread for about 10 close friends.
Wow.
So I was lucky enough to be part of the second Thanksgiving. They almost pushed me to the kids' table yesterday because I came in shorts.
Oh.
The casual attire in Australia means shorts, especially in the summertime. We're like shorts. Everyone's coming in nice shirt, nice pants.
Yeah.
So Carl did it in his American accent. Excuse my American accent. He goes, "God damn it, Liam, you gotta make sure you wear pants. You're at the kids' table." I don't know if I did that right. I apologise, Carl, if I offended you in any way with the lack of American accent I had. But it was an awesome dinner. Caterers last night.
Yeah. Did you sit outside?
We sat inside actually around the table. We just had some great conversations with great people.
Awesome.
I met a guy who his name's Jeff. I've known Jeff for some time now, but he's a journalist who's retired. He's from America as well. He's from Ohio. I think he said. He's from Ohio, and he was really big on cosmology.
Oh, right.
So he's
stars.
Journalism. So I was talking to
What's his name?
Jeff, I've forgotten his last name. So he's a journalist in Washington.
Okay.
And he's retired now. I don't know how old he is. So he was talking about cosmology. He was talking to me about business. He was talking to me about just life. He just loves to study. I should get him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he local?
He lives local now. Yeah, I think he lives in the north side. But we had great conversations. I was talking to him randomly about UFOs.
Oh yeah. What does he say?
He says, "Look, Liam, I've got you can have an app and a website for everything these days. There's a website that's a telescope that looks for UFOs. So you could be part of." You just live stream it, and you can. If you look at it, it searches for UFOs for you. I'm like, really?
That's so cool.
This is so cool. He goes, you could be the first person to catch a UFO. I go, listen, I'm in. Get me this app, and I'll be looking at it day and night, and I want to see if there's any UFOs. But it's actually funny. There was on the Joe Rogan podcast, listen to Joe Rogan. He had a guy on there he's called Tom DeLonge. Have you ever heard Tom DeLonge from Blink 182? Have you ever seen the band Blink 182? So Joe Rogan had him on his podcast. That's the lead singer of Blink 182, and all he does, his sole purpose is to find UFOs. Like, he started a company with a couple of CIA agents.
Wow.
To find, they think that there's already extraterrestrial life. These CIA agents that come out.
Yeah, they know that there's extraterrestrial. I mean, there's a huge, I guess, conspiracy of the cover-up of the government knowing.
Yeah, well, so this is the thing. I've seen both sides. I can't help it. When you go down this rabbit hole, then you just go down more and more and more. And then you see both sides of the story. One side of the story is like, he's found some information, so the CIA agents, and he's connected with these right people, so then they're invested in his company, and they're trying to build spaceships that using alien technology. I don't know how true that is, unless seeing is believing in some ways, to be honest. Spending millions of dollars to try and build their own space programs, sort of like the Elon Musk, but a smaller version. There's another story that the CIA agents are actually already pre-planned this, because Tom's come out and studied and gone, look, there's UFOs out there, and I've seen them at the Roswell sites, blah, blah, blah. He's done his own research. Yeah. So the CIA agents are actually working for Tom to try and guide him away from...
Oh, yeah.
That's another
I can imagine,
theory. So I'm like, there's so many theories. You can't help but go down that rabbit hole.
I saw this documentary when I was in Dallas about the unexplainable, or something that, like, unexplainable, where... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, loose change, I guess, that's not answered. And they know, and I guess Marilyn Monroe knew. And that's
Marilyn Monroe knew?
She knew, that's why she got killed.
No way, I thought she got killed because she wanted to, she was just having an affair with...
Oh, come on, there's got to be more than that. She was with him, but he knew. So he was really active in that initiative at that time.
Really?
Like, there was some private files that he was... I mean, the rabbit hole goes deep. I don't know. I don't remember the documentary, but yeah.
Why is everything so around JFK? Like, everything, like, he was killed because of, there was so many conspiracies just around him being president and him being killed, and then post that, and so many different things. Like, he wanted to prevent wars with Russia and blah, blah, blah. That's why he got killed, and... Well, I'm not saying that's what happened.
It was Cuba. I think it was Cuba. I don't know the history, but I went to the museum, the John F. K. Museum in Dallas, and they have like 4 floors dedicated to his story. I love history like this. And there's a couple of different conspiracies around why, why he was killed.
But it's just funny how, like, there's so many stories that just come from JFK as a president. JFK as a president. Like, now you're talking about UFO. I didn't even know that dimension. Apparently he was killed because he wanted to go to space.
Right, he was the one that wanted to go to space first. Yeah, but if you look at the timeline, he went into office in 1961 or something, or 58 or something like that. And then we landed on the moon 3 years later.
Wow.
And so it doesn't make sense. I think there was competition between the countries of the world, and they wanted to be first to the moon. But in that process, they faked the landing on the moon. And
do you reckon they faked the landing on the moon?
Yeah, of course they did.
You reckon?
I think so.
You're American saying that now. You're an American saying that. I've never heard an American say that. Well,
I've done the rabbit hole with that, and loose change. It's like, wow, okay, like, when things make sense, you don't have any questions.
Why haven't we been back?
Yeah, well, why haven't we been back, right?
Why haven't we been back? If we could do it once, then why wouldn't we go every year?
I know. That's the thing. Why haven't we gone back?
So,
and you know what? Yet NASA spends trillions of dollars every year.
So what are they spending on? What are they doing?
I think they're just pocketing the money.
Of course they're pocketing the money.
They're not using it for space exploration, and that's for sure.
They haven't. All they're doing is all
I mean, and if they are, it's just like, why? What does that mean for us here on Earth that you've found a new star called Krypton?
You almost said Krypton. Krypton's like the planet where Superman's from, isn't it? Is that right? Did I say that right? Krypton?
Yeah. Kryptonite. Yeah.
Kryptonite. That's right.
Krypton.
I'm not too sure. But then anyway, they found that planet, hey? But yeah, look, I just think that we just went down a different pathway of wellness then.
Yeah,
it's just
totally
interesting to
unexpected.
Talk about.
Yeah,
interesting to talk about your UFOs and Tom DeLonge and how he's went from Blink 182 to now, CEO of a company. But how he wants to release information is that I'll finish up on this part of it. But I think that he wants to release the information not through actually telling us. He's got the private top secret documents with these CIA agents about UFOs. So what he wants to do is put it into fiction books and fiction movies that are cartoon movies to slowly bring out the elements of aliens on the planet and blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff. So who knows? How do we know that he's not just profiteering off fiction novels and he's just trying to have that side of it just to grow his company?
Yeah. I think if
interesting,
people are seeing unidentified flying objects in the sky...
I want to see one, though.
Well, I haven't. Well, actually, I've seen somebody film a Facebook Live of an unidentified flying object. I think it was probably a drone.
Drone.
But, there are people out there that are convinced. And their conviction is true, in my opinion. You can't be that convicted if you're lying.
Yeah. I was talking about this, I've watched the Cosmos series. Have you seen Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is that how you say it? Anyway, so he's a scientist, and he did this 8-part series on the cosmos. And what I found interesting, and he said the reason why they haven't found life on any other planet. I don't know if I can describe this correctly, but if you've got a planet, right?
Yeah.
We're Earth here.
A sphere.
That's my planet right there. You can't see it, and my fingers are curled up in like a planet format. But if we're Earth and we're shooting out signals to other planets, how do we know on that other rotation of, say, Mars? How do we know it reaches like an habitable area? What if we shoot it to, like, as we're shooting those signals, it shoots to like Antarctica version? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So how do we know? Like, if they shot the signal at like Sydney, Australia, then they might get something of Mars, a habitable area. That's what I'm saying. But if they shoot it to Antarctica equivalent,
that's not explored over there. Like the land is not explored because it's not like habitable for
it's
whatever.
Not habitable. So then, how do we know that this telescope in this particular area shoots up to this part of the Earth?
Yeah.
So unless we shoot up every second for 24 hours for God knows years and years and years, then we might have the opportunity to maybe find something. That's going to take years if it goes that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I don't think that we have explored space in the way that we portray our. If you really look into the photos that NASA has produced, they all look really fake. They all look really like CGI. The conspiracy is that NASA is one big, huge hoax. Yeah. And it's just a money-making machine, so we spend all of our taxes on this government agency.
So what are they doing? Like, what's the point of it?
Well,
they just want to
Liam,
instead of getting money from taxes, they just want to get money through NASA? Is that what you're saying?
That's right. It's just like churches. Like how can churches profit? Like, there's laws and rules in our world that don't make sense but are there, and they exist. And
yeah, exactly right. Well, we're wisening up to those rules.
Yes, we are. Yes,
we're smartening up to those rules.
Yes,
but I just find it fascinating that if you know how far it takes to travel from one side of our galaxy to another.
Billions of years.
1,000 light years.
Oh right.
You know how many? You know how fast you have to travel to go at the speed of light? That's light years. 1,000 light years.
Yeah.
300,000 kilometers per second.
Oh, right.
At the speed of light.
Right.
To go through a light year.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
right.
And then you've got 1,000 light years.
Wow, that's fast.
That's just our known galaxy. I'm full of useful knowledge this morning. I don't know how I got this. Where did this come from?
Yes, I know.
I could be making it up.
Yeah, you could.
No, I didn't. I actually Jeff was telling me about it last night, so I actually stole all that information from the lovely Jeff, the cosmologist. But it's just true. Like, it's
all stories handed down from generation to generation. Really, at the end of the day.
I saw it actually. If we're going, last thing I'll talk about the alien side of things. I saw another interview on the National Geographic, how they go to old sites like 5,000 years before mankind actually existed, and there's always a common thing on each site around the world. Like, you go to the Aztecs ancient Aztecs. You go to Turkey, and they always have like men, and they're seen as like gods, but they always intertwine their fingers.
Oh.
And it's the same lengthy finger concept in a
Yes.
statue format.
Yes.
I'm like, whoa,
Well,
that freaked me out. And it's all around
yes.
the same time period around the world.
Yes.
So how are they all contacting?
You know, I do know that I listen and read Graham Hancock. Have you seen his TEDx talk?
No.
He studied ancient art all around the world.
Oh, is he the British man?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's saying that there's art symbols in Asia, in South America, in Europe, all around the world. And if you look at the walls and the scriptures and those hands and the symbols, they're all the same. And he's saying that they derive from the plants that are on the earth. So like they use mushrooms and plant medicines to get to that space, and that's how we've evolved over time. And so people have been using
ayahuasca.
I
want to do this ayahuasca. I'll do it. You wouldn't do it? You would do it. You're just not saying anything right now. I'm open to the possibility of doing something.
If you're interested, I will talk to you off air.
Okay, cool. Wow, look at that drug dealer over here. I know a guy who knows a guy who can get things.
They do not want us to be exploring.
No, because they want to dumb us down.
It's a Schedule A drug. You're not allowed to be even talking about it. So, you know, you got to be very careful, especially on air and on the radio, that you respect that it's
still a Class A drug.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
it's like cannabis. Is that still considered?
Oh my gosh, Liam. I've learned so much about cannabis.
Oh, really?
I have learned so much in the last couple of weeks. I love it. I'm so excited.
Are you excited for it to be legalized by the company that I invested in?
Yes. Oh, and you know what? My dad says he keeps forwarding me information. We always do this for the last decade, whatever. But he knows I'm a big fan, and he always tells me about people who are also big fans. And one of his best advisors is a huge fan of the cannabis industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, anybody that's going to be in now is in. Yeah, I know.
I'm in, baby.
I want to start selling it. In America, in the different states that are legal, you can sell under MLM. You're allowed to sell it. And after watching this 9-part documentary of cannabis and all of the hundreds of diseases it helps and aids, I'm so excited to learn more. That there's an endocannabinoid system in our bodies.
What does that mean?
It has receptors, millions of receptors. There's 2 receptors, CBD1 and CBD2, and they both consume different elements of the cannabis plant. So depending on you're not smoking it, you're not getting you're not getting high or anything. There's 2 components to the cannabis plant. There's CBD and there's THC, and so you create a medicine with different ratios based on what your disease is. So you might have a 1-to-1 ratio, you might have a 1-to-5 ratio. It's different for every person, but when you get that ratio right, it is a miracle drug. And basically because it's intelligent, this plant is intelligent, it knows how to handle cancer, it knows how to handle MS, it knows how to handle seizures, it knows how to handle it, and it changes and adapts based on what the disease is. So with cancer, it does 3 things. It stops the blood from tumors.
Going to that area?
Yep. It stops the tumor from metastasizing, which means getting bigger.
Getting bigger and bigger.
And then it also tells the tumor that it's foreign and for it to self-destruct. And so the cancer cells self-destruct, which makes the tumor shrink.
Yeah.
Now, there has been proven studies. I mean, even the U.S. has a patent on a few of the cannabinoid
cannabis?
Yeah. A few of the components in the plant they have patented, and they actually are giving 2 people in the U.S. cannabis for medicinal purposes. So I believe the U.S. knows the benefits, and for reasons we are all aware of, it doesn't allow it to.
Can we just, before we bring Zach in, because I want to hear, because I think he's just standing outside the studio.
Oh, yeah.
So just before, is this just quote? Don't quote me on this one. Is it the 1930s where it was actually they found out that hemp was useful for everything,
Yeah.
right? And then, so it was even used for wood, for timber, timber. It could be a timber replacement. That didn't sit well with the timber yard people back then, so they actually made it, they put it through the government to make it illegal because that would ruin their businesses. Yeah. That was one of the reasons. That's right.
Yeah. So basically in the 30s, cannabis industry was booming. I mean, people used to have plantations of cannabis, and it was actually mandatory at one point in the U.S. History that you had to grow this miracle plant. And they used it for textiles, they used it for food, they used it for medicine, they used it for a whole bunch of things back in the early days. I mean, people used to have tinctures of cannabis, and they used to use it for medicinal purposes. And then as the big the big oil companies were creating new products, they wanted something that competed with the hemp plant. So DuPont CEO of DuPont had a nephew that started up the DEA, the Drug Administration.
Oh, really?
And they put through the Marijuana Tax Act. They created a whole bunch of false information propaganda.
Yeah.
So people would believe that it was bad, and in that process created a tax law which made it illegal. And so they did two things. They made it illegal, and they also created a whole bunch of lies about this plant. And now people have been brainwashed since the 30s that it's been a bad drug. But what they're starting to identify is that it's actually a pharmaceutical treasure trove. That's what they're calling it, because it's so powerful. It's just got such an intelligent mind.
Yeah. Well, you know that, and I think I've said it on air maybe. Yeah. I've invested into medicinal cannabis. Not a person in their backyard growing it in Australia. There's actually a farm in Perth that they grow it, and they send it. They're going to send it to Canada. So that's what they're going to use it for the oils.
Yeah.
It's not to do with just smoking it. That's not the idea. As you mentioned, it's being used for multiple purposes. Yeah. So we've actually invested in that company. Yes. And it's it's had its fluctuations. It's just
the beginning, though. It's just the beginning.
Yeah. It's the beginning. And the only problem is what we find it's like what's his name? Warren Buffett, the best investor in the world, says that the only concern about the cannabis industry is that not that it's not a great industry to be involved in, but it's sort of like the early 20th century when cars were coming about. How do we know that Ford and Chevrolet were the ones who are going to be still standing to this day, when there was like 180 car companies back then all competing to be in the car world because it was a new product.
Yes.
So not cannabis is an old product, but now it's going to be booming industry. How do you know which company to be invested into?
That's right. Yeah.
That's the only struggle with it. So
you have to look at the source and the source of the plant. Do they use GMOs? Is it naturally grown? You have to look into the source of it. Yeah.
We're sitting in a good position anyway. Let's bring Zach in. Should we bring Zach straight in? And
Should we go on a break?
Should we go for a song or just bring him straight in?
Let's bring him in.
Bring him in. Come on, Zach.
Zach,
we usually go to a song, but we're just going to go straight in, man. Come in.
Zach, this is Liam.
Hello,
Zach.
Well, this is the microphone, Zach. And this is, I'm Liam, by the way. This is Facebook Live. We're on the radio on air, so it's lovely to meet you, Zach, so you can talk into the microphone there, buddy, as loud as you can. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know
anything.
Can you
just stand back a little bit just so we can get all of us in? Because I think okay, no, you have to stand right here and talk right here. Sorry, move
close. Nice and close.
She's the mother of the show.
I'm not the mother.
She decides what to do and where to go. She's the.
What's going on.
I just show up. Yeah, she got it down pat. So let's introduce.
So Zach is a friend and a client as well. We met. We met at a networking event, and he immediately said that he was in the wellness space, and so we got along quite quickly.
We hit it off.
Yeah, we hit it off quite quickly. And every conversation that we've had has been about what we talked about, like Kevin Trudeau and Think and Grow Rich and mindset and personal training and. Oh, we'll talk about that.
You
will soon.
I know Napoleon Hill. I'm familiar with that space.
Yeah.
I just don't know Kevin. How do you say his name?
Kevin Trudeau.
Kevin Trudeau.
And
You want to sit down, Zach?
and every time I speak with Zach, he always has really useful information
Okay.
to share.
I'm pretty excited about this.
So I thought we would have a chat with Zach. We've got a couple things that we want to talk about.
Okay.
First, we want to hear about you.
Yep.
And your introduction and where you've come from. And,
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
And then we've
Organised
got
chairs.
Musical chairs there, buddy.
Yes.
we've got two experiments, I guess we call them, that I want to dive in and talk about, which was the raw experience that you did, and also the forum, Landmark Forum, that I think Liam's gone and had some experience with.
I've never done Landmark.
Yeah.
I've done the weekend wake up experience. It's a similar format because I've had a couple of my friends who have done both, and yeah, Landmark offers some great things in the self-development world. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Cool.
So why don't you begin?
Yeah. So thanks heaps for having us down here today. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Obviously, my name's Zachary Mason. I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach, and love just helping people with a health. Pretty much a health enthusiast, if you put it that way. Optimal health is what I love to focus on. And just to give you a bit of background, so obviously I'm a personal trainer now, but that's sort of been more of my focus this year. So initially, I didn't start out in that health space. I was very, excited about training and doing all this stuff for many years, but I didn't really have enough knowledge to take it to the next level. And I sort of fell in and out of going to the gym, training, doing sports. I can't even count on my fingers how many different things I've tried growing up. So I guess when I left school, I sort of found myself not knowing what it is I want to do, what my passion is, what my purpose is. I was a bit lost and just went with the flow and didn't really get anywhere. And it wasn't until I sort of, woke up a bit towards around 20, 21 years old, and I could see the success that other people were having, and I started to ask myself, okay, well, what is it that I'm going to do that's going to make me successful or give me purpose or give me something that I can give back to people? Because I found sort of helping others really gives you that sense of fulfillment, well, at least for me anyway. I know everyone's got their own, I guess, take on that, but for me it was helping others through something that I'm passionate about. And I saw the success that my brother had, Josh. He's actually one of the top chefs in the country for his age. He's got an amazing restaurant.
What's his restaurant?
It's called Qua. It's in, I think it's Balcombe Hills Business Park, Norwest Business Park.
Yep.
And he's done amazing things. Travelled around the world, worked with Michelin star chefs, and done all this crazy stuff. And I was like, he's done all this. He's my younger brother. Like, I used to think he looks up to me, and now I look up to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought, what has he done that's made him, be so successful to where he is now? And that's because from a young age he just stuck to it. Stuck to his passion. He was doing it all the time. And I thought, okay, so maybe that's what I need to do. I need to pick something. And just so happens that at the time, gym was most present, health was most present in my life. So I decided to choose that to be my passion. I mean, we're not born with a passion or a purpose. We need to create it, right?
Definitely.
So I was like, okay, that's going to be my thing. And then, one thing led to another, and got
Whereabouts are you personal training now?
I'm in Anytime Fitness.
Which one?
Balmain. Well, it's Roselle, but
we're
competitive.
We're competitors. No, I'm actually a personal training manager at Fitness First Market Street. That's my full-time role. So my job is I manage 26 personal trainers who run their own franchises. So
it's a few.
Yeah, it's a few people to manage it. So sometimes I struggle to manage myself, yet alone 26 other people. But that's a story for a different day, Zach. I want to hear more about Anytime Fitness.
Anytime Fitness. Well, I mean, everyone knows what Anytime Fitness is. 24-hour gym. Sorry.
You should see Zach's muscles. I mean, he's totally hiding. You should take your shirt off.
Oh, come on.
I can't
He's got the biggest muscles.
I didn't
shave.
If you want him to take his shirt off, if you want him to take his shirt off, get him to take his shirt off.
No, I can't do that today.
You can't. If you take your shirt off, then he might take his shirt off.
They didn't warn me about this. This
was not part of the plan.
It's not a part
We
of the
don't pre-plan things around here. We just wing it, don't we?
Sorry, go on. Go on.
Yeah, look, Anytime Fitness, 24-hour gym. It's all over the place. I really love the model and the franchise.
Yeah. Do you own it, or you're a personal trainer there?
Just run my own business in there.
Business, yeah.
One-on-one PT, group classes, nutrition coaching, pretty basic stuff. It's PT stuff.
Yep.
But I guess for me that was like my first step to working towards being able to do more and more things for others, and just expanding my network, meeting people, helping people. I saw that as my opportunity to start doing that for myself without having to work hard for someone else and contribute to someone else's business when I could be doing that for myself. So
exactly right.
Decided to take the leap and grow my own, jump off the cliff and grow the wings on the way up, and it's worked out pretty well so far.
And how long have you been a PT for then?
So I was qualified late last year.
Yeah.
So I officially started 1st of January this year.
Cool.
And just pretty much lived in the gym until it happened. So
well, as Sheena previously mentioned, if you lived in the gym, that's why you've got those muscles.
Well, that should be a byproduct. Not for everyone. It does take just a little bit of work.
Yeah, it does take a lot of work.
For me, a little bit. Yeah, for most people, a lot. Yeah.
So who do you enjoy helping then? Is there a certain people or a certain demographic, if we're looking at it that way? Like, is it guys? Is it girls? Is it more postural? Is it more just nutrition or just well-being? What's your
good
target
question.
market?
I've battled with this a lot because I feel like a lot of people are so niching down a lot these days, which is fantastic. But for me, it's been more about just getting a good experience with everyone to see, where I sort of excel best. And what I've found so far is that I tend to get great results with people who really do want to make a change, not just turn up for the sake of, I trained this week, I've had a session and I've done my bit.
Yeah.
They're people that genuinely want to change, and they have that. So there's two things. They have willingness to learn and a willingness to change, desire to change as well.
Yeah.
So people can want to learn stuff, but whether or not they want to apply it is another thing.
Yeah.
They've really got to have both. So the people that want to learn and want to apply it and make a change, obviously I get the best results with, because then I can really give them all I've got.
Yeah.
And that's typically around, strength training, in terms of being specific, strength training, building muscle mass, doing things that they've never been able to do before.
What would those things be like?
Even just basic lifting, squatting, and exercises that really push you beyond what you've never been able to do before, and stuff that affects everything. So for example, your squats, bench press, and your deadlifts. If you get proficient at those exercises, they're going to impact anything positively.
Yeah.
Your posture, any sports you do, just about anything. If you can do that, master those lifts.
Which ones were they again? Just
squats.
Squats, yep.
Bench press.
Bench press.
And deadlifts.
Deadlifts, yep.
Big three.
Yeah.
You could throw standing press in there, but it's not, an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
But I really feel to master those lifts, you get to learn your body a lot, and you can also build a lot of strength that you didn't have, and also realize strength that you did have but didn't know how to use. That's one thing I find pretty amazing, is people that are quite sound in their physique and their posture, just through tweaking small amounts of technique in these exercises in the same day, they can go way beyond what they ever thought they could do.
Definitely.
And that's pretty cool.
It is true from I've been in the industry for a bit of time myself, and they are the foundation movements: a pushing movement, a squatting movement, and a bending movement. And that always people seem to come back to those foundation movements in whatever we do. I teach development for the new personal trainers coming through. That's part of my role. So last week I taught the Viper. Have you guys ever heard of the Viper?
No, I haven't.
It's just like this big tube. I mean, if you ride the trends of fitness trends always seem to change. Like if you look at CrossFit, and then you look at F45, you look at those sorts of different circuit formats. Then you look at different apparatuses like the Viper. Viper is it stands for Vitality Performance Reconditioning Apparatus. So it's like this tube that has different handles, right? And then you have your kettlebells, which is a different format. So you have your Vipers, your kettlebells, you have your dumbbells, you have your barbells. But the foundation movements always seem to be coming back to a squat movement, a bend movement, a pushing movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Add those extra elements to that. You have your gait movements. Have you heard of a gait movement? So these are also foundation ones as well. So Zach's right on the money with he's been well educated. He's a well educated man. And on top of that, you have your gait. You have your different planes of movement as well. So your twisting movements. I think the foundation movements come from sort of Paul Chek. Have you ever heard of Paul Chek? Yeah, so he started with squat, lunge, bend, push, pull, and now gait. So gait is like walking, running, putting yourself into that forward movement. So that's how you get that overall functional movement. But that's so right that every apparatus you have always comes back to those foundation bends and squats.
So Zach, though, you don't only do personal training, you also teach on mindset and you also teach on nutrition. And you've seen a whole bunch of people through the last few years or so.
Yeah.
Do you have certain tips, or like do you kind of bring all three elements together when you're teaching these people, or like if you're in the gym you just do personal training, and how do you share your knowledge?
I mean, the first step for me is always meeting people where they're at. It's a process of getting to know someone, how they think, what really motivates them, what their why is, if they even have a why, and then you can sort of start that process of pointing them in the right direction. So a lot of the stuff that I like to utilize is stuff that's been around forever, but it's just practically applying it. So what I mean by that is, like, for example, if a client comes in and they want to achieve a certain result but it's very vague, well, the first step is to get clear on that and to find out, you want to look more toned. Well, first of all, what does tone mean to you? Because the word toned has 1,000 different meanings to different people. So it's like, what does that mean? Okay, so it means you want to lose body fat, yes, and you want to gain some muscle. Cool, doesn't everyone? Pretty sure everyone wants to do that. So why do you want to do it? Because up until now you haven't done that. What's happened all of a sudden? What's changed?
So you get into their psyche a little bit.
You need to.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, it's just going to fall off the wagon, Like, you need to give purpose to what you're doing there. And I see a lot of people join the gym because my mum been told me to join the gym. Like, that's fantastic, you join the gym, but just dig a little bit deeper so you don't fall off the wagon in 8 to 12 weeks, and then you're just donating your money to the gym every week. What's the point?
With Fitness First, the stats are that integration for our company is a big thing. For Fitness First is a big thing, and the only way to integrate members into the gym and keep them going for a longer period of time is to have them with a trainer who is set with a goal. And as you're mentioning, so the person who has something that they're looking to have them coming back, have a purpose around their exercise, they're the ones who stay longer. They're the ones who are actually happier customer. Otherwise, you get the people who just pay the money and don't go.
Yeah, exactly right. And obviously, there's people that maybe don't need a trainer. But think of it this way: like, the best, most elite people in the world, Olympians, whatever you want to think of, all have a coach.
Exactly right.
No one's too good for a coach.
I was about to disagree with you, but lucky you came back with that, because even trainers need trainers. I need a bloody trainer. And I'm a trainer. You need a trainer. We need to work on something.
100%. Yeah, and that's it. And like, I do have many coaches, not just in training, but in life and in business and all this kind of stuff. And it's just how it is these days. And it's been like that. Anyone who wants to go above and beyond really needs that external view from someone else to call them out on what they're doing, offer another solution, and get you to sort of see you. One of the biggest things, which I'll go into a little bit more detail, based on the landmark experience, was like noticing your blind spots, to stuff that you can't see but everyone else can, or maybe someone can but you can't, and it's discovering those. And through a coach, that's one of the best ways to figure that out.
Is it because they call you on your stuff?
Yeah, stuff like that, or
like they call you on the things that you weren't aware of to make you aware.
Yeah, like for example, like we're all living, like right now, we're living our life right now, like right now. This is life, okay? And for everyone watching, this is life right now.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is we're on the field right now, but our mind might be in the stands.
Yeah.
Or if it's not, it might be in the field. Either way, that's the distinction that you have to make through a process. I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I guess having that coach is, you can have someone who is on the field with you, but also in the stands observing what you're doing, and they can see things that maybe you can't see, because we're always on the field playing our life. Whether we're present with that or not is another thing. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
So your first tip is to find an intention as to why you want to lose.
First tip for anyone is, okay, I thought about this before I came in. I think it's more about something a bit more practical that I like to use is, think ahead maybe 20 years time, someone who has a similar lifestyle to you or has had a very similar lifestyle to you, and take a good look at them and ask yourself, is that where you want to be in that period of time? Because everyone, like, in this country, we all live a similar life. Like, we all have a job of some sort. We all live in certain similar living conditions. We all experience similar things like Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, pretty well the same-ish, right? Unlike other countries which have like so many diversities in the country, right? So if we look ahead to people that are older than us or whatever, and think, okay, well, they're living the same life that I kind of did, and that's where they're at. Well, do I really want to be where they are right now? If the answer is no, then that's great. If it's yes, cool, keep doing what you're doing. If it's no, then you've got to think about what do you actually want then. So if you're deciding that's not how you want to be, now you can make a distinction between how you really want to be. Then that gives you the power of choice. Okay, well, no, I want to be like this. Next step is then to define why. Why do you want to be like this rather than where you're already heading? Get clear on that. Once you can answer that, and you really have to go deep on that. It can't just be like, oh, because it's going to be more fun. Like, you really got to go deep, get deep in yourself, and then go beyond yourself. Like, what impact is that going to have on others, your family, potentially the world? You know, give it as much purpose and meaning as you possibly can. And then the last thing to do is just to take action on it. Just like, what can I do right now, today, to start implementing new habits? You know, I think I don't know if this is proven, but I've heard it many times. It takes 21 days to form a new habit, or make or break a new habit. 21 days. So you've really got to start straight away to start implementing and forming those new habits, whatever they are, that's going to align with where you want to be. And get to that point of what our good friend Kevin Trudeau likes to say is unconscious competence, where you're living a life that supports where you want to be without you having to think about it. Kind of like when you wake up in the morning and tie your shoelaces. If you think about that process, you'll probably confuse it and screw it up. But we don't think about tying our shoelaces.
It's the power of subconscious mind, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you're unconsciously competent at doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like driving, we can all drive. Most of the time, I drive the same, patterns every day. So I get to work and I actually can't remember what lights I stopped at, who cut me off, who didn't. I can't remember because it's just happening. Like, we're unconsciously competent at driving.
So would you say you're unconsciously competent about going to the gym and pushing weights and
No.
Do you have a suggested? I know everybody's different, but while they're going on that path, and they're putting the power behind the unconscious, subconscious, or whatever you just said, is there like a number of times per week that you suggest people going to the gym, or these daily habits that you have? Sometimes you're not going to be able to do it daily, right? Because you can't work out every single day. So, how do you handle that? Like, still putting the momentum between, you working out and resting.
Okay. So do you want me to like personal answer or more like answer for the people?
Yeah, for me. Like, just coach me.
Coach you. All right. So, well, the first thing I like to do with my clients and people that I work with, or anyone, when it comes to exercise, is to determine what your absolute minimum, no excuses, 100% you can guarantee commit to every week. A lot of people come in like, I can train 6 days a week. Yeah, so what happens if you hit 4 days and you're going to feel like crap because you said you're going to do 6? You're making yourself a liar. Better to say, all right, 100% I can commit to 3, and you've got 7 days to fit that in. 3 hours out of 168 hours, you've got to find 3.
Yes, breaking it down that way is...
You find 3 hours out of 168, right? So commit to what 100% you know is going to happen every single week. Doesn't matter if you're at Bondi Beach, in the Blue Mountains, in Queensland, Tasmania, in Europe. Figure it out. Then once you're consistent with that and you become unconsciously competent with that, add a bit more fuel to the fire. You have to, it's just how things naturally progress in life. You can't go balls to the wall and expect that to stick. Right?
And then you start to get a little bit addicted to that pattern. Like you start to feel it if you don't hit that 3, or you don't, fulfill your goal. So you're getting in the routine of hitting that goal each week, and then it becomes natural and subconscious.
You know what it is? What I think it is, honestly, it's one of the most common things that are missing in our day and age. Honouring your word. I mentioned that in this famous book that some person wrote that I will not mention his name.
Let me guess, The Humble Hero?
Have you read it?
That is the best one of the best books I've ever read. Not read.
This guy.
He's so good.
The Humble Hero. It's a good book. Liam Zollo, me.
This guy. Blowing his
very-
own trumpet over here.
Yeah, but it's not really humble then, is it?
Somebody's got to,
It's
right?
not really humble right there, was it? It's not really humble. It's hypocritical to the title then,
I
wasn't it?
know, but it's always.
But I do mention that honestly, and I mention exactly what you're saying. It's the thing that we feel good about is the thing is actually telling myself that I'm going to do something, and I actually follow through with both plan and action. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So and it's the showing up part, even though it feels like, excuse my swearing, well I'm not going to swear, crap. Feels like crap. Turning up to the 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it may be, it's going to feel like crap. It's not going to feel good going. You're going to get that feeling of feeling great after you go because you said you did it and you were going to do it, and even if you felt like crap, you still did it anyway. And that's what I think is missing in our day and age. It's like the same thing with contracts. Have you seen contracts? You can get out of a contract now. You can have a 500-page legal document and still somehow get out of it. You know, so that's because there's no honour. But if before contract, you used to look at people in the eye and say, "I'll be there and I'll show up." And that's what we're missing, I feel, in this day and age, because we could look straight into each other's eyes right now and say, "Yeah, I'll be there at 10 a.m. and for sure you'll be there at 10:30." You know what I mean? But you knew that you were going to be there at 10:30, but you never said to the person you were going to be there at 10:30. You said to the person you're going to be there at 10. So I think that's the thing that's missing. So I just want to
Honor behind your word.
honouring your word.
Yeah.
So and that's where you get the good feeling based on that. So
The fulfillment of that. Yeah.
100%. Anyway,
Can we switch gears? I really am interested in the raw. So Zach is a huge nutritionalist. I mean, we've had really great conversations about the microbiotics of nutrition or microscience of nutrition.
I'm not a nutritionist. I'm studying nutrition, but very much.
You're passionate about it.
Yeah,
You're passionate about it. You've done your research, and then you learned a little bit about the raw diet.
Yes.
And I really want to hear about that. I want to hear what did you change in your diet, and how did the month go? You did it for 30 days, and then how did you feel afterwards?
Yeah, so it's 30 days raw, and the reason I decided to do that is because it's something different, and I've never done it before, so I thought, okay, might as well do it. It might help someone. And so how it works is it's basically all foods that can be eaten raw, which is going to include all your nuts, seeds, grains, vegetables, fruits, and that pretty much covers just about most of it. There is some other stuff, but yeah, anyway, I won't go into too much detail. So the idea is that you replace all your meals with meals that are not cooked. So I was eating a lot more fruit, which I really enjoyed. I was eating a lot of nuts, like a ridiculous amount of nuts to make up the calories.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, there was a lot of meals. Like the program that I followed had a lot of meals which I thought were going to taste terrible, actually tasted pretty good.
Can I just ask though, because I've always wanted to do the raw for 30 days. I just didn't know what to do on a daily basis. Like, could you give a description of what you would do, say for breakfast, and then lunch, and then dinner, and snacks in between?
The photos you posted looked gorgeous.
Yeah, you'll see a lot. Actually, pretty much all the different meals I had, I've put up on Instagram. So to give you an example, like for breakfast, most days I had like a coconut chia pudding with some berries and fruit. That was pretty much banana.
Coconut milk or coconut?
Yeah.
Coconut. Sorry, did you say coconut milk?
Yeah,
or
coconut milk
okay.
with like the chia seeds, and you leave it in the fridge overnight, and
Sweet.
it's like a dessert type.
Yeah.
So a bit of that with some cinnamon and.
Wait, so I didn't know that you put it overnight, and that's what makes the chia seeds open up. Is the overnight?
They absorb all the coconut milk and like go all soft and gooey. Kind of like is it sago or tapioca?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Similar thing.
Okay, I never knew how to cook chia seeds. You don't cook them, but you I know.
Raw.
Do you know what I mean? Prep.
I had that problem the whole 30 days. It's like, what are you cooking? I'm like, I'm not cooking. It's like, what do you mean? Yeah, anyway.
That's right. So was it nice not to cook?
It was, but at the same time, the preparation was a lot more because a lot of the raw food has to be fresh.
Right.
You can't make a fruit salad tonight and take it to work tomorrow.
That's right.
It'll be like brown as the dirt and under the grass, right?
So you had a lot of planning, a lot of prep and planning?
Yeah, kind of. It was just trying to always have food available. Like I had to go shopping every 3 or 4 days to get more fruit, more vegetables because you're really churning through the veggies. Like really. Like you want to get, like I love to eat food and be full. Like most of my satisfaction from eating comes from my stomach feeling full. Yeah. And something that was easy to eat. Having said that, a lot of vegetables requires that satisfaction. So like 2 large zucchinis spiralized with nut creams and all this stuff and vegan cheese and mixing it up and tomatoes and fruit, like this big veggie thing, would take maybe 15 minutes to make.
Yeah.
But every time you want to eat, you've got to actually make the food because you can't really meal prep it. Like some stuff you can, but most of it you can't.
Can you do it if you were, say, you're in a 9 to 5 job? Do you think you could do the raw scenario, or is there other alternatives that you can use in its place? Like there's muscle meals, for example, that you can get daily meals sent to you.
If they cater for raw, I don't think they do. I mean, if there was like a salad one, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people that work 9 to 5, they've got that structure there.
Yeah.
So I think for them it's probably easier to implement because they know, okay, at 10 o'clock I've got my 10-minute smoke or whatever you want to call it, and then at 1:30 I've got 1 hour for lunch. Whereas for people like us, personal trainers, like my schedule changes every week, so it's like day by day for me. So I think people, the more structure you have, the better it'll suit and work for you. But you do need to plan ahead, and you do need to have a lot of the food there ready to go. Yeah. Because as I said, you're making it as you go. You can't just smash out 7 salads for the week. Like it's not, you just can't do it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So how did day 30 feel?
You do feel pretty good after like the first or second week because you start to really assimilate to it. The first week's a bit rough, especially because I cut coffee as well.
Oh no!
Yeah,
coffee.
Yeah, I know, I cut coffee, but what I found was once you got over that, hurdle, and your body started to accept all the, the fruits and veggies and stuff you're putting in, you sort of had this really natural like buzz. As long as you were eating like every 3 hours, because you kind of have to because you get really hungry. As long as you were eating consistently, you had this good energy about yourself, and like I managed to make progress in my training in that month, and all I was eating was, veggies, fruits, nuts, and anything that's sort of related in that family, without going into too much detail, and I still felt really good provided I was eating.
Is it sustainable? Do you find that it's sustainable? Like any nutritional, like I've tried the keto way, which is a complete opposite. It's like
I started keto at the same time that he started raw.
Yeah, that's
He started keto,
and it's like I went completely eating fat, drinking coffee, and Zach did complete opposite.
Yeah, you went to your knobs of butter and your coffee.
Yeah.
I think that it's I feel as though it's hard to sustain. It always comes back to that concept of the best diet is the one you can stick to, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah. That's so. The conclusion I got from raw is that if you really want to just feel really good from food and not have to rely on coffees and this and that, and you are gonna, like, if you eat consistently the healthy, clean raw food, you will lose some body fat and you will still have energy. But like you said, maintaining it is a bit tricky. So even now, like I've scaled it right back. I might only have 1, maximum 2 raw meals a day because of my schedule, and just when you're out and about, like you can only carry so much food with you, and not like we're going to pull up here and chopping board and start chopping up. Right. Like it's just not. It's not practical if you're living a life that's sort of random. But having said that, like who cares? You can still have 1 or 2 raw meals a day. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still implement it as part of your holistic diet, something that you're able to stick to.
Yeah, exactly.
Which people do anyway. They have fruit salads. They have
definitely
carrots and hummus and celeries, and that's still raw.
Yeah, 100%. So I want to hear about Kevin. What's his name?
Kevin Trudeau.
Talk to me about Kevin Trudeau. I want to know who he is.
I was the one that referred Zach to it. So when I moved into my house, I listened to Kevin Trudeau because it was that time that we met for the first time. I think it was Ed Zia started talking about. Yeah, Ed Zia's workshop where we started talking about a couple of, I don't know, conspiracy theories. I don't know what you call them. But
we started here, we ended up somewhere.
And I said, you gotta, I had researched Kevin Trudeau, and I listened to 9 of his CDs. And it's similar to Think and Grow Rich, and I thought that Zach would really get something out of this.
Yeah, I did.
So I sent him, and he's listened now to the 9 hours, like 3 or
12 hours.
12 hours. Like same here. I was listening. I listened to it twice and was on the 3rd time because it's so interesting. Yeah, I was painting.
Notes?
I was painting. Listening and painting. No, this is when I first moved in. I was painting the studio.
Oh, painting the studio. Yeah. I was like, you an artist.
No, gosh, no.
So the roller out.
Yeah, you the roller out.
No, I was sitting there painting and listening, and it was just so inspiring
Yeah.
to hear what they had to say. And
So do you remember some of the things that you have to that he had to say? This Kevin.
basically, in a nutshell, I think what he is saying is that what I was shocked about was that our minds are transmitters. And we transmit signals out to the world. We're like a television set or a radio station, and you have, and it makes sense. It's like we're humans. We're transmitting signals, and it all depends on the way you manage those signals based on the thoughts and your intentions and the energy behind that. And like daily habits of setting your intention and saying what you want and
So it's like a radio signal, but then you need to tune it into a certain radio station. You know,
So-
is that right?
Yeah. So pretty
So
much.
otherwise, they're just radio. It's just radio signals, not going into any space. Is that what the importance of having a focus? Is that what it's talking about as well?
Yeah, there's a bit more depth to it because he talks about it for over 12 hours. So obviously, we don't have 12 hours. But to really condense what you were saying, it's like our minds are transmitting a frequency or a vibration, and a lot of this he backs it up. Because when you first hear it, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? This sounds like some woo-woo, rah-rah, whatever. But he really goes deep into it without getting too colourful, so it makes sense, and just backs it up with like on the even was it the atomic level, it's vibrations, right?
Yeah.
And it all starts from there and expands out. So he talks about how all the thoughts that we think, whether we're unconscious or conscious of those thoughts, creates a vibration or a frequency, and that goes out into the world or the universe, whatever spirit, whatever you want to call it. Like this is free of religion and free of any beliefs or any of that stuff. This is just
scientific almost.
Yeah, it is a bit science-based. Well, they back it up with some science.
It's subatomic particles, isn't it? So it's more about what's it called? Physics?
Well, he uses that as like...
What's the physics? Not physics. It's
quantum physics. Quantum physics. Yeah.
Quantum physics.
This is beyond my scope now.
Yeah. No, that's what he talks about.
Physics,
Is quantum physics.
He does talk a bit about that.
Yeah.
Is there similarities between that and The Secret? When The Secret was coming out? Was he part of The Secret whole?
So do we want to get controversial about? This topic is something that people know about. So The Secret and Kevin Trudeau's Think and what is it?
Think and Grow Rich.
No, but what's the CD called?
His CDs.
The 9-part series.
Okay. Your wish is your command.
Yeah, your wish is your command.
Is this Kevin Trudeau?
Kevin Trudeau. Yeah. So
I've listened to that before.
So basically, what he's saying is that a lot of the people that are billionaires know about this process. And it's well documented that there's a lot of wealth creators that know about this process of using your mind as a transmitter to get what you want. And that is kind of a secret, right? They don't teach this in school. They don't talk about your mind being a transmitter.
Yeah.
Because that's where the whole controversy comes in.
Because they want us to sit down, relax, sit down in your chair, do this, do that. So many rules put into us that where there's no... we don't get that. We have to be dictated by someone else.
Yeah.
That since
the power of giving our power over to somebody else to make the decisions for us.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's kind of my interest was that piece, that there's been years, decades of people knowing this process and using this process, and examples of billionaires using this process. And something else I got was the trust behind the universe unfolding, and like, for instance, if you get pulled over and you get a ticket for some reason and you think it's a bad thing, you have to have positive energies with positive outlook or energy behind everything that happens, because you don't know that accident could have been prohibited or preventing you from a big car accident, or like the universe is unfolding perfectly. Even though you think it's a bad experience or something negative has happened to you, it's actually for the greater good of the way your life is unfolding.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And to add to that as well, like I like the concept of the universe has a plan for you, and simultaneously the ability to take responsibility for myself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were
free
talking about
choice
you
of
have
doing
that responsibility, and that's where I think schools go wrong, because it doesn't give us the responsibility. It's like you're dictating. You have to sit down. You have to study this amount of times. You have to do this, and this. Where it doesn't have that.
Yeah, we're taught to obey.
We're taught to obey. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So I
Which
think that
is basic control principles.
Yeah. So for the future plan, right, it's probably a good thing. And simultaneously, you getting that fine, if we're talking about a fine, going to the deeper level, you leading up to that, getting that fine, is still my own responsibility, it's no one else's.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? I think if we're guided by that sense, then you don't have that essence of blaming someone else.
That's right.
Like it's someone else's fault that I got that fine.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's I got that fine, I take responsibility for my own actions, and simultaneously, I know that the universe has a plan for me.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate.
Yeah, that's right. Taking ownership and
Very
trusting.
difficult to do when you just got a fine, though.
I had two fines this week.
Two fines this week.
I want to hear Zach's opinion. What do you think about Kevin Trudeau and the whole your wish is your command concept?
Yeah, I think he's 100% on the money with it, and it comes down to how much you want to apply it. Mm-hmm. But the way he puts it, it's very applicable. Like it's very, very easy to take it and run with it. Mm-hmm. But where someone might fall down with it is not holding their integrity and sticking at it. Like it's just like anything, like going to the gym, you need to do it all the time. So
every day,
for you to have a sharp mind, you need to do the things which give you a sharp mind. If you want to stay lean, well, you need to do the things that are going to help you stay lean. So it's not like you read one book and it's I'm enlightened, I just read this book. No, you read it again and then read it again and then read it again, because that's solidifying a new habit and a new thought process. And you sort of go through, I mean, listening to Kevin's stuff, it wasn't like I was blown away, this is new stuff, I've heard it before from a very young age, but the way he puts it was just so easy to interpret and apply. But having said that, if you don't actively apply it, it doesn't really mean anything.
Exactly right.
And unless you take, like you said, responsibility for your actions, nothing's going to change.
100%.
So it gives you the tools in a very basic 101 language, and then the rest is up to you.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I've got no other questions. I'm all out. I've had all my questions done.
Fantastic.
I want to know, Zach, how do people get in touch with you? And do you have anything on right now that people can...
Yeah, so not specifically anything on right now, but we are in the process, or I am in the process of planning my first sort of workshop in late January.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be, pretty much based around the stuff that we talked about today, very much holistic, optimal health approach to life. And the optimal health includes everything, right? So the definition of health is a state of being free from illness or disease, full stop.
That's just a body that's at ease.
Yeah.
So,
it's not dis.
Yes.
You know we were talking about it last week?
Yes.
Dis-ease. Yeah, puts your body in two splits into two. Dis-ease, you're taking out the dis, and you have a body with ease.
Yeah, exactly right. But
very deep.
Like always.
We've had deep conversations.
Like how I like my squats.
Yeah. So when's this workshop can be held?
I'm still finalising things, but I think if people want to get in touch and find out more, best to jump on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Health with Zach is my business page or personal page. I can probably just pop it in the comments.
Yep.
Under this video.
After,
because I'll share it to the page as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
And we can get in touch there.
Yeah.
What else?
And get in touch in January too, so we can share when the actual event is. We'll do some sharing around that time too.
We'll be putting up, what we're going to talk about, the content, where it is, and it's going to be more of a free information, networking style event where like-minded people can come together, and I guess I'll put the content out there, but where it goes from there is sort of up to the group on the night, which is going to be pretty interesting. And I'm looking forward to that. And apart from that, I guess there's a lot of other things I'm into as well, like online business and learning how to generate an income from Facebook, which took me a long time how to figure out, but finally found a system that works. So I'm in the process of sharing that with people because it's working for me pretty well.
What's that?
Sorry?
What is that? Getting clients?
Getting clients, but it's something that I'm going to explore more in the workshops because it's a bit of a process to explain it, but it's, I guess, from my experience, thinking for many years that you had to be an expert or have 20 years of experience or go to university or be declared as someone before you could go online and generate an income. Well, that's not really the case. It's about finding a system that you like and you can believe in and adopt, and then going out and applying it. And manage to be able to do that. But that's something that I'm going to be sharing in my workshops as well for people that are open. So yeah, I mean, we've all got one of these smartphones.
Definitely.
But if you're not earning any money from it, then I guess it might be a dumb phone. I don't know.
Oh, thank you so much, Zach.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute privilege to sit down and chat to you, and I'm super excited about your up-and-coming events that you're working on, and definitely we'll share it through our networks as well.
Absolutely. It's always an interesting conversation with you, Zach. I'm so glad. And we'll probably have more conversations after this. So.
100%.
Thank you so much.
And next we've got Connie Chapman coming in. Very excited about that conversation. So we're just going to go to a quick song, boys and girls, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Yes, I think what we'll do is we're going to close off Facebook now. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.